There's no reason I should whisper. Maybe it's because there's all these animals here. I mean, I don't see them anywhere, but supposedly they're here. I can't remember the name of this park, but it's almost to South Haven, south of Saugatuck. Pretty far south of me, but I tend to come down here because there's this thing that I call the Michigan force field. You probably shouldn't talk about these things, but I have a hard time honoring thoughts like that. So, it's this thing I call the Michigan force field. There's just this area that feels like it has some sort of feeling to it. I could describe it more in depth, but it creeps me out a little bit because I don't understand it. That tree's cute, and that ribbon around it. It's just a plastic thing, but it reminds me of the music video. Rachel Resterhouse was going to have like a ribbon that ran through all of our videos back when we were making a vision for the Catalyst album. Okay, hang on, my backpack is... Oh wait, you can see my cute wolf patch. I sewed that on there from a pair of socks that didn't fit Brian. And I framed one for him too. Okay, back. Okay. Yeah. So I'm still inside the Michigan force field bubble. I don't know what to call it. Feels like a thing. It's just land that to me feels sacred. One time I kind of thought I had figured it out because I got this map in the mail that was part of something from an organization that I love called Crosshatch. They used to be called Island. They're who I did my artist residency with. Crosshatch Center for Art and Ecology, and they do all these really great things for, well, art and ecology and artists. They just really believe in process and community. And one time in the mail with their like pledge drive or donor requests and all that, these mittens are too big for me, but I'm really happy they exist. But wait, that's where my hand really is. If someone knows how to repair mittens, I kind of want to fix them. I'm trying to pull it in. Like, couldn't you just pull it in? Okay, I'm done. Anyway, I got this map in the mail that showed the Michigan like water basin or something, like under the land. It shows like how much water is like in the land, and it from Wisconsin like past the Great Lakes kind of went in a circle, and there's like an epicenter. It seemed like fairly central Michigan, but kind of skewed towards the like Grand Rapids, like the little circle. There used to be, I read something once about like a Bermuda Triangle type phenomenon thing that happens. I think it was between just south of Holland, which is around where I am right now, and all the way up to like past Ludington or something, and just kind of like that circle around there, and that's kind of where I had already felt some of this, and so it's just weird and spooky. I think some people would see this as, oh, the place I wanted to go is blocked off. Well, I was gonna say, I think some people would see this as like they would believe it, but in like a ghost stories sort of way. But like, I've released a song called Ghost Story, and when I'm talking about ghost stories, I'm usually talking about like souls and God stuff. So like, this is why I was sad. Sheriff's Line, do not cross. That's the way I was gonna go. There used to be a staircase over there. Well, let's see if there's one over here. Or maybe it's unsafe here right now. That'd be depressing. Kind of drove all the way here just to see these red clay cliffs again. I have a couple of the stones that I had brought home for my 12 album release show, and kind of had them, or I guess I forgot to put them out, I think. But I had collected some and some other stones that people could paint on during the arts and crafts portion. I'm doing quotes. My hair is looking crazy, like it's falling out of this hat that also looks crazy because it lost its elastic, and now I have static, and okay. Because these are fashion videos, if you didn't know. I know I'm a musician, so you would think I'd want to do musics, but I don't even remember if I brought a ukulele. Anyway, I'm by Lake Michigan. If you don't know, Lake Michigan looks kind of like the ocean. Yeah, that's water. I only ever say that because there was once a artist who came here who grew up in Florida and whatever. I guess it's not just her. It's quite a few people who have been surprised that Michigan is just wide open blue. There's no other land across that you can see. So, yeah, it's like a very still ocean inlet. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm doing this right now. Looks like a little spot to perform. Oh my gosh. I think I'm just gonna... I think I need some time with me and nature. I don't even know why I'm doing this because I was just stressed because I've been doing a lot of things and one of them got done and then I added a change and I was so happy to be done with the thing, but then I added a change and then it made me feel bad because my request for a change was kind of like I should have thought of it before, and then I just felt bad and I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go try not to feel bad about that. That's my whole video. This one doesn't say anything. Oh wait, it did say some things. I don't know if I should release this one. Well, I'll just give you some water. I think you can see kind of like the clayish color underneath some of it. Maybe not. I should really get down to South Haven. I had been more curious about that. I also haven't eaten anything today. Love you, Lake Michigan. Oh, straight across there. That's where I grew up. In Wisconsin. Over. It's like a 2.5-hour high-speed boat ride. You can bring a car on it, but it's really expensive. So I've only done it without a car. Alright, what else? Chicago. It's down the lake that way. Up that way is like the UP, the upper little peninsula of Michigan. Hello. Wait, hello. That's kind of cute. I think I need like eyeballs on it if I'm going to do this. Oh wait, now I'm going to have to mark this as for kids. No, I'm not doing that for one quick mitten moment. But you are supposed to do that. If there's anything in a video that would be appealing to kids, you're supposed to do that. And I can't do that because this video would not be appealing to kids, and I don't think I need kids to watch this. Life is weird. Beauty fades, people. Or it's never there to begin with. Or it's in the eye of the beholder. Or it's blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I guess if I'm going to make this a more stereotypical check-in video, I should add that I've been feeling very, very, very anxious lately. No, not true. Low-level anxiety, but just low-level depression too, and just feeling kind of just grumpy, sad all the time. Mostly at just feeling like night after night after night after work, having a hard time motivating myself to care about this creative work that I want to do because almost nobody listens to it, and I just have to keep reminding myself and remembering how to get over that, because someone could suddenly listen to things that took you a year's worth of work, and they can listen to them in 15 minutes and say good job, and that's done. And it's not about time invested, and it's not about applause and back pats. It's about, like, if in the initial moments of inspiration you saw value in it, then the value's still there, and whether or not you feel like you're getting any energy from the world or people or things is kind of irrelevant to the work. It's not irrelevant to your heart. And that's where I've been lately. It's just realizing I have to keep unplugging and detaching from the world in order to have any self-esteem, because if I stay plugged into the world, all I look around and see is other people's paths making more sense than mine. Like, it doesn't make sense to do as much as I've done for over a decade. And I don't know. Whatever, it's in my songs. It makes perfect sense that I'm not known, because I don't want to be known, because I don't want to do the work of someone who's known. So there's so many things that make sense, if I'm honest. Okay, my fingers are really cold and I can't have one mitten on. You know, I can't get it on while still talking in the video. Okay. So I hope you're having a good day. Happy weekend. I hope the weather's not too bad by you. I hope you're having some moments of peacetime. This has been kind of like my personal peacetime, even though there have been a lot of hard things going on. I've been better at drawing boundaries faster and finding healthy solutions so that I don't just live inside of pain anymore. Trying. And I'm very lucky to sit off to the side a little bit. It's never good to do a check-in video when you're feeling like kind of smugly happy, like finally a poking of a hole through some cloudy emotions, because I don't have anything meaningful to report. I just am happy to feel happy. And that's a weird, like, you can't talk about that feeling. Like, that feeling is embarrassingly simple. It's just like, oh, what a relief it is to feel some happy feelings that are consistent and staying with me for hours on end, and not feel all this heaviness that I've been feeling because of politics and people and boats I feel I've missed, or graves I feel I've dug, or whatever. I mean, if you want to hear how I'm feeling lately, read some liner notes of the last 4 or 5 videos that I've posted. It's just, I'm feeling drawn to release my darker stuff that I didn't used to release. I'm feeling drawn to talk more openly about politics, go on my Instagram. I'm feeling drawn to, like, share very honestly about how society and people and everything has made me feel. I'm feeling very fringe and very introverted and very alone, except for a few people that I'm close to. And I'm feeling fine with that lately. And I think that that scares me. Like, I'm not actually fine with it, but the alternative doesn't make any sense, which is going back to, like, being a little bit more superficial just to have connections. I think you can have it both ways. I think I wasn't superficial. I think I was just so scared of people. I've always been so scared of people not liking me, like terrified. Scared is an understatement. Terrified is even an understatement. I've felt like it would mean death. Like, I think I've felt like social death was the same as death. Like, people not liking me would completely destroy my life or something. And now I feel like I'm living in a reality where I think I'm only likable to some, and to other people I think I am annoying. And I don't want to harp on this anymore, but I just read something in a really good spiritual book that I hadn't looked at in a very long time that, no, it was actually just an online thing. I just remember that. It was just some dumb online thing about how to heal certain things, and it said for confidence, for like your, you know, your good gut feelings, that you should surround yourself with people that you sense like you, and like who enjoy you, who respect you. And I think I'm not gonna really feel okay in my skin on a regular basis if I don't kind of get a little more fierce about that. I'm getting better at drawing boundaries with, like, toxic behaving people. I don't like toxic people as a term. Nobody's wholly toxic, but some people do choose a lot of toxic things and bad behavior, and I'm getting better at drawing boundaries with that. But I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about, like, if someone just kind of is irritated by you all the time, then why spend all your time around them? I think that's an intuition I had from childhood. It's like, if someone clearly doesn't like you that much, like, close the door and go doodle. Don't just sit around them while they seem like they don't like you. Like, I'm not even thinking of anyone from my family, so I don't know why I said close the door like it's in the house. It's whatever. I feel like I've actually been, oh my gosh, hashtag blessed, but I have been kind of taken care of on some of those topics, because the friendships where people really weren't that into me either naturally dissolved, or they left me, and I maybe didn't understand it and nursed those wounds like I was personally rejected. But why would it have been better to stay friends with those people for 20 plus years? That wouldn't be better. If they clearly don't like me, don't vibe with me, don't vibe with anything about who I am or how I am, like, how is that better? It's not better. And I feel like I've been in situations lately where I've been trying to, for the good of one thing, I'm putting myself in a scenario that is not for the good of the other thing. And the other thing is me feeling like I'm liked, or me feeling like I'm cared for. And I think that's why it's a broken record in some of these videos. It's because I keep putting myself in situations where I can feel like I'm annoying people. And so no wonder I'm constantly reflecting on, am I annoying people? Is that why certain people don't follow my videos or care about anything I do and clearly unfollowed me? Like, I'm confident that it's not just the algorithm. Like, some people have clearly unfollowed me. I'm not going to, like, list names or even groups that those people are in. Like, and I want to say I'd unfollow me, but it's like I'm just not paying attention to anyone. So, like, it's not that direct. Whereas I know some people are, I don't know, whatever. I see them, like, following each other and previously having been very supportive of me and then not anymore. And it's like, maybe you shouldn't admit that, because maybe that lowers my social status in you random strangers' eyes. But I think the reality is, if you have a personality that's kind of as loud as mine, or as big as mine, or as opinionated as mine, or is all about my own thoughts and feelings, I mean, like, when I hang out with people, sometimes all we would do is talk about all kinds of philosophical thoughts and feelings for like hours. And it's like, I'm realizing in hindsight, that's actually a little hard on me, unless you're somebody that's going to be a really reliable kind of best friend. I don't like these hot and cold kind of friendships where it's like, we're going to be like that, but then I'm not going to see you for months. And so I have trust issues. Sorry, that's not funny. I do have trust issues. I don't trust that people genuinely like me, and I don't trust that people genuinely want to spend time with me, and I don't trust that people want me to be myself around them, and I don't trust how I fit into systems. You know, if two people want to fight or complain, if my thing is to try to solve it, I was just laughing about this with my sister, because I'm not the only one who's like this. I understand that somebody swooping in and trying to fix things can sometimes make it worse. It's true. But if that's who I am in those systems, then the only other alternative for me is to be completely silent and try to just observe those scenarios. But that's actually just really painful for me. I can't just watch people fight, or watch people hate each other, watch people not get along, watch people be aggressive, watch people be hurtful. I can't just watch it and do nothing. And maybe that's a childhood wound. I was reading this thing and I just posted on my Instagram about, like, look what your triggers are. Those are your ancient wounds, or, you know, and it's like, I'm not alone in this. This might be like an INFJ thing. It might be an empath thing. It might just be a me thing, but it's not. It might be a writer thing, where you've already had enough for one lifetime of this, like, checking out, looking, stepping back, and just, like, observing. Like, I get it now. I know what that feels like. And I don't want to just do that in scenarios. I want to chime in and try to, like, soften or mediate or just, like, redirect the energy. These mittens. I like this part. These pine trees are awfully big and needled. Little tiny bench. I don't know. People keep talking to me lately in the last, 12 hours. Like, I'm such a nice person, but that's not the perception I've been feeling. Like, if I am so big-hearted, or if I were to believe the things that people say, then it doesn't make sense to me why so many people don't want me in their life, other than that I take up a lot of time. Or maybe because I'm all over the place with, you know, being kind and friendly and understanding if somebody's not there for me, swinging to the other side of being really disappointed by it. Maybe I have really high standards for people. I could see that that could be it. I think I actually do have insanely high standards for people. And maybe that's a swing from having had no standards to the point of being like abused like crazy for a long time. Tons of different people. Very abusive, terrible people. And maybe they were just in a dark spot, but that's, I can forgive them, but I don't have to say that it's okay what they did. Anyway, I think I'm leaking mascara now. I think I have high standards because I've just been like broken so many times, and I'm like borderline unfunctional because of it, but not really, because like I've run music fests and I've made house shows and I release albums very scrappily, and I have a piano studio and I teach like 30 some kids, and I know how to pay my bills on time and all that, and I have I have a high credit score, like good job, this is my report card. I also have a really good resume from all my music directing gigs in New York and Chicago, and like I understand that despite life breaking me, I still have some of those things, but maybe I thought that with my upbringing, with my attention to detail on all these competitions and all the hard work I did being an A student, maybe I thought I would be more successful because I just had all these moments that looked like they were going that way, and the trauma is really what changed it. My inability to cope with reality versus feelings. I don't know. Maybe it's also just how I'm wired. Maybe I prefer talking about feelings over doing the nuts and bolts busy work of whatever it is normal people. I don't think there's such thing as normal people. Whatever it is that like responsible people would do. Like I just go off and, I mean, maybe it's no more responsible to like do really great at a job. Oh, I was saying battery power was dying. I don't know if it's more responsible to do really great at a job and then take a vacation where you drink and go to theme parks or go to beaches and eat good food and then go back and work some more and then do a vacation like that again. Like, what's that different about that and this? Like, I just take really small vacations because it's all I can afford, but I take them more often than you probably. And like once a week or once every other week, I do this. Not just this, but I also just drive around, get out in nature. I use a Prius, so I'm not making too big of a carbon footprint. Thanks, Brian. And, you know, just try to let the stress go and figure out the next step and be okay. I'm still thinking about the crappy thing. Sort of like a thing I did or said, or I don't know. Anyway, it's not bad. Here's the thing. The thing that I did that's bothering me that I did is just something where I had to say to somebody how I felt about something that was true, and I guess I didn't have to tell them. I could have been dishonest and never told them that something bothered me a little bit, and instead I chose to tell them. And I chose to tell them, and that feels like deeply vulnerable because I feel like we had one ending that involved feeling good for them, and I thought for me until I checked the thing, and then I felt a little bad about this thing, and then I told them, and like that's what makes me feel like I did something wrong. Telling someone the truth makes me feel like I did something wrong. I know that's relatable. That is not just me. That is a thing. A lot of sensitive people have this, where if you say your truth, it could be turned on you. And it doesn't matter if you say it to the nicest person ever, which this person is a very nice person. They weren't mad at me at all. But it still leaves a weird energy in the air that reminds me of those times when my truth maybe was completely turned on me, or turned against me, or or I felt really bad. Like, I think it's subtle, innocuous things that people said to me as young as childhood, like, why would you say that? Or why aren't you helping? Or why didn't you do this? And it's like, they're always after the fact, and I don't know why I said or didn't say, did or didn't do something. It's like, and those type of big questions with a sensitive person just make you feel like, I don't know. And then because you don't know and you start doubting everything you've ever done, I mean, you just end up not doing anything. It's deer in headlights syndrome. It's like action paralysis, outspokenness paralysis. And, you know, maybe I've just always, up until recently, believed too much in the people who were my main influencers early on. Whether it's like parents or teachers or siblings. I think I just believed in all of them and their wisdom, and I'm putting it in quotes because I don't know why I thought theirs was wisdom and mine was complete blank slateness. I believed in everything they said and almost nothing I thought. Or I believed in what I thought, but I pushed it down so deep that I ended up this like super feisty person who tried to instead be like a yes man, nice guy. And I let there be a split between the two rather than learn to reconcile the two, which is, how do you speak up and speak out? I think it's because I'm an Aries. I think it's like, I know that the way that I speak out when I speak out is a little aggressive and intense sounding, and so I've hated it. I've hated how I sound when I'm in regular situations like this. I'm used to because I'm not responding to anyone directly. So hopefully these just have some entertainment value and or educational value for somebody other than me. I don't know, or it's just for me. But if it's direct, can you imagine being talked to like this by somebody like who just has one tiny feeling about one tiny thing of a thing that's overall good, but it's like, this is the feedback you get. It's like, well, it's just this, but it's just so intense. It just colors the scenario differently, and I don't like being that person. I don't enjoy it. I've tried to hide it. I've tried to, even if the thing I'm doing that's extra wordy is to let a person know that it's not a big deal and I really don't mind and it's blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, but they know I'm only adding all those extra words because it is something that bothers me a little. And it's like, oh my goodness gracious, girl. It's nothing. It's tiny. Put it in perspective. But like, I can't. I get so in the moment. One of my friends once, well, she's a therapist, but she wasn't my therapist, but she really believed in pausing. Like, I probably could have kept that energy out of my reply if I had just paused and sat with it for a few hours, but I don't know, sometimes life just moves really fast and I don't trust myself to keep my momentum going if I pause. I had that week where I was sick and I started just getting all this wonderful stuff done and it was amazing. And then when I wasn't feeling sure about one particular thing and I put it on a table as a to-do for later and I paused, maybe these are two different topics, probably. But when I was pausing on that, suddenly I completely lost all motivation. I think it's a bigger thing than that. I don't think it was as simple as that, but I don't trust pausing, I think. And I think it's led to a very isolated introvert life mixed with trying to be expressive, but mostly doing it in safe spaces like this. You would think this is not safe, but this is more safe because no one's replying to me directly. I'm just always very terrified of my intensity hurting somebody. And I think it even did recently, one scenario. I see one or two other scenarios possibly coming up, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how to mitigate, manage, alter it, make it something that's more normal. It's just how fast my brain works. It's just how loud and intense and now and present my brain works. Same with the tears, same with everything. And now I'm gonna meditate. You can meditate with me if you want. There's this beautiful highway noise. I'm back in my car. I don't have anywhere else to go. So, well, that's someone else's car blocking my car, but here, I'll show you this tree while I take some deep breaths. This park was a disappointment. There's these like red clay cliffs. It's probably the only reason I turned my thing on, because I thought I'd get to like walk up on them and okay, whatever. I'm going to South Haven so I can step outside the force field. Even if this is all in my imagination and it feels real, but it's just in my imagination, this idea that there's a more intense energy in this little area of Michigan, then the fact that it's true for me is just worth me noting. Like, I think clearer outside of this force field. Maybe it's something in the air, maybe it's something in the people, maybe it's something about being an empath and like people act different in those places. I don't know. I know what I believe, but just because it's what I believe doesn't make it true. So that's my truth. And that's my mess. All right, well, have a good day. Bye.